Mamdani in 2023 at a Democrat socialist event told the audience that when the NYPD has their boot on their neck, it is laced with the IDF. That is rhetoric that emboldens someone to do what we saw in that synagogue.
Please remain calm and in your seats.
Now, prosecutors say the 46-year-old Larry Montez sat quietly in the pews for 10 minutes before storming the rabbi's platform, destroying property and attacking a female congregant. He's also accused of spitting and headbutting the security guard while hurling racial slurs. Now, Montez faces multiple felony hate crime charges. A judge set his bail at just $10,000 cash, a fraction of the $50,000 that prosecutors requested.
Well, I think it's safe to say for people who are claiming this had nothing to do with anti-Jewish sentiment, I mean, even the perpetrator proved that to be wrong. It absolutely has everything to do with it because he admitted it.
We reject this with every fiber in our being. They see what every single New Yorker should be saying, and Jewish New Yorkers should be able to go to their synagogue without having fear for their lives.
Listen, me and you both know he is playing to the cameras. He's saying what he has to say, and that's why we judge a mayor not by what he says, but by what he does and what the results show. Mamdani stood at that press conference and claimed he is doing everything in his power to ensure Jewish New Yorkers are safe from fear across all 5 boroughs. But here's the problem. The rabbi of that synagogue warned him just 23 days before this attack. And that's why I went on Fox News, because I'm very grateful to have this opportunity by Harris Faulkner, and I pointed out the exact metric that proves his administration is failing its most basic duty. Take a listen.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Harris. I think it's very simple. On July 23rd, the rabbi of this synagogue sent a warning letter to Mamdani. So, you know, the old cliche, actions speak louder than words. He was warned. And his actions have not been able to line up with what he's been telling New Yorkers. He wants to keep New Yorkers safe. But think about this particular stat. 57% of all hate crimes this year is due to anti-Jewish sentiment. So I'm curious to see how the mayor is truly addressing that number instead of going into a camera and saying he's doing everything possible. I just don't think it's going to work. And I think New Yorkers are getting fed up with it.
As I stated previously, time and time again, they've been warned what happens. The climate is up. He's not been able to respond to it. I don't think he will respond to it. I don't think he can even help it. He's not going to cater to Jewish New Yorkers. He's just not going to do it. And listen, I'm a firm believer that you shouldn't actually cater to a group. You should cater to everyone under one unified message. All New Yorkers, their lives matter. I don't care if you're Jewish, Muslim, whatever. We're going to treat you guys all with the same standard. Each and every one of you guys deserve to be safe. But according to the numbers, that's not actually happening. And that's why this failure isn't an accident. Just take a listen to what the mayor was caught saying to his socialist base long before he was handed the keys to the city. Watch.
I've been watching a little bit of your podcast on topics like this just recently. And I know your guests feel strongly about this. This isn't just about New York, because we have people with his politics, Mamdani's far left democratic socialist policies and politics running across and winning in primaries across the country. So, as we look at this, broaden it out a little bit and why this is so critical for the safety of Jews all across the country.
Yeah, exactly. It goes back to even what happened on the universities. Harvard, Columbia, or the University of Columbus, right? Where we need strong leaders to stand up, stand firm, and actually reject what's happening. I think leaders find ways to scoot by the rhetoric and how it may result to actual actions. And I think the best thing of strong leaders is to take responsibility for the rhetoric. I just want to be clear here. Mamdani in 2023 at a Democrat socialist event told the audience that when the NYPD has their boot on their neck, it is laced with the IDF. That is rhetoric that emboldens someone to do what we saw in that synagogue. And I think it's going to happen across this country, because who on the Democrat side that is actually condemning this. Chuck Schumer has been quiet as a mouse. So I'm not too sure what they're going to do as a response. But I think as common sense Americans who love our country, we need to stand up.
Listen, I think I made a great point. I'm not trying to toot my horn, but it is for common sense Americans to stand up and hold people like him accountable. How? Voting him out when they get the chance, okay? They shouldn't have elected him to begin with. I don't even think people, particularly working class individuals, voted for him according to the numbers. We know that. It's the highly educated, right? It's the high net worth and young Americans who are caught up in the doom and gloom mindset, not actual people fixing things with their hands, trying to essentially contribute to the local economy. That's not the people who voted for him. So radical leaders will continue to embolden street-level violence by mainstreaming extreme anti-police and anti-Israel talking points. And that's why we need strong leaders to stand up.